We need some solid information here from you. We got a work stoppage most likely coming when the clock strikes midnight. So roster freezes will be put in place, but that hasn't stopped a lot of teams out there from wheeling and dealing here, dude, over the last couple of weeks. So we're going to give you a name and a new deal, and you got to tell us its real life impact and also its fantasy impact here if you can. So let's start with your guy. This is Robbie Ray. I mean, you've been tweeting about this deal for days now. This year's AL Cy Young Award winner, who is signing with the Mariners, your team, for a 5-year, $115 million deal. So tell me what you like about this move, the real life and the fantasy impact of it.
It's amazing because, like, my worlds are colliding. Like, Robbie Ray, the guy who cashed me the 80-1 ticket, goes with the Mariners, my team. It's like it was just inevitable. But look, Robbie Ray, one of the biggest reasons why he had such a successful 2021 is he stopped using his curveball. He used that in 2020, 16.4% of the time. In 2021, 6%. Now, why would he ditch that pitch? It's because in 2020, opposing hitters hit 474 off of his curveball. That's not a good number when you're a pitcher. So he moved to primarily a fastball slider pitcher. Those two pitches combined, he held opponents to 202 batting against him. Just a massive difference from him, and that induced more ground balls. 24% ground balls compared to more ground balls in 2021, 37% compared from 24% in 2020. Now he's with the Mariners. Roomy ballpark in Seattle. Roomy all around in that division in the AL West. He's going to be their frontline starter. I love that team to begin with, but they just give him a solidified ace to kick off that pitching staff.
I was going to say it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark there, T-Mobile Park, so that should help alleviate some of these mistakes.
No doubt, and obviously he's had issues with home runs.
Yep.
30 home runs or more given up in the past few seasons. That should limit that as well.
All right, let's stick with pitching, Steve. Max Scherzer to the Mets on a 3-year, $130 million contract. Woo! Money well spent by the Mets?
Look, it's a ton of money, like $43.3 million on average over the next 3 years. He can buy so many NFTs. He would make Gary Vee jealous at this point.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
You should tell him that. Yeah, absolutely. But look, this is somebody who had one of his lowest walk rates of his career last season at the age of 37. Now, the caveat to this deal is that he can opt out after the second year. Now, is he probably going to do that with the amount of money he's getting right now? Most likely not. But, I mean, the numbers are still there, like a 2.46 ERA, a 2.97 FIP last season. Excellent numbers. I just worry about at what point is he going to start breaking down? Is he like Tom Brady where he never breaks down and he just continues to perform? Maybe. But at his age, you have to start to worry about that. But, that's a classic Mets move. Overpay for somebody. I mean, if you need someone like Max Scherzer, you're going to have to overpay. But, man, $43.3 million for the next 3 years, that's a lot of money, even for somebody like Max Scherzer. I like the deal for the player, but the money, man, that is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, Max Scherzer, very old for the sport of baseball. Not old for the earth, but old for baseball.
Man, but
totally.
Can you no one's going to say no to that money, especially when you get every dime of these contracts in baseball. I don't blame you at all. You don't put that money in front of me, sure. I mean, I am the highest paid employee at DraftKings. Corey Seager, though, Steven, to the Rangers. A whopping 10-year, $325 million deal.
That's a lot of NFTs.
Yeah, it certainly is. Would be great if he remained like a premier fantasy asset for sure. And Texas also adding Marcus Semien to the offense. How much do you like what this team is doing? They are spending like it's going out of style,
so much money.
Dude.
Where's the money coming from?
Yeah, no doubt, too, because, I mean, the Rangers have been the bottom of the league, for years now, but they're trying to obviously turn that around. Now, I love Corey Seager when he's on the field, but that's the biggest part, when he's on the field. He's been in Major League Baseball now for 6.5 years. He's played at least 134 games or more in only 3 of those seasons. Injuries have really taken away what could be a stellar career for Corey Seager. That being said, with the way that they've locked him up with this contract, they're getting him in the prime of his career if he can stay on the field. And now you're saying he's moving to Texas, roomy ballpark. Ballpark hasn't been an issue for Corey Seager. 59 of his 104 home runs came at home in L.A. with the Dodgers. You want to talk about a roomy ballpark, Dodger Stadium is one of the most roomiest and coziest for opposing pitchers. So power, that should not be an issue moving to Texas. The AL West suddenly has gotten super highly competitive because of all the signings that division has made alone. But I love the move for the Rangers. If this is the direction they're going to be going, they're going to be competitive, but they need to add to that rotation if they want to be competitive in that division.
All right, most recent one, Javier Baez heads to the Tigers on a 6-year, $140 million deal. Can he make an impact in Detroit?
I mean, it doesn't take much to make an impact in Detroit because they have no impact players to begin with. At first, I hated this deal until I heard that he can opt out after the second year when he'd be 31 years old. If he does opt out, that means he's been very productive for the Tigers, and he's going to get paid again at the age of 31. Look, the Tigers needed to make this deal regardless if they want somebody like Baez or not. This team needs a power hitter. Last season, they were ranked 24th in home runs, doubles, and isolated power. So that's near the bottom of the league in all three categories. Amongst qualified shortstops last year, Baez was second in home run and sixth in RBIs. The only thing that he brings, though, that's going to be a detriment is the strikeouts. He was first in the league amongst shortstops by a mile. He had 184 strikeouts last season. The Tigers struck out almost more than any other team in the league to begin with, so they're going to be piling on those strikeouts. But with Baez, what he does bring, he brings some power, he brings some pop. That's what that lineup needed.
All right, dude, before we let you go, just tell us what your favorite deal so far has been.
I mean, it's obviously Robbie Ray. I mean, There's no doubt in my mind. It's Robbie Ray. Goes to my team, goes to my, the team that I love, and is going to win the AL West in 2022. I was a year early on that. It's going to happen next year. Put your money on that one. 35-1 on the DraftKings Sportsbook currently. That's a great number for the Seattle Mariners right now. Go make that bet.